Well, congratulations on being a finalist of the Saïd Future Energy Prize. I knew from the outside it's a very rigorous review process and evaluation process and thousands of applicants. But now, this last year, being on the inside on the review committee, you're a winner if you get to the stage before the finalist stage. In my opinion, it's really a. What can you say about what inspired you to start Solar Sister and how? Has it grown as you expected, or has it been different than you expected?
Okay, well, let's start with the first part of that question, which is what started my inspiration for Solar Sister was coming out of banking for 20 years in the energy sector and realizing that energy is just fundamental for development at the country level. Then when I left banking, I got involved in a very small foundation that was doing solar work in Uganda, putting solar on clinics. And on a trip over there, I also saw at the household level that solar is fundamental for development. It's not just a big infrastructure issue, it's a very specific household issue. And that around this time, it was around 2006, solar was becoming product-sized. And so instead of large, big installations that have panels and batteries and wires and all of this, all of a sudden you had a very, very appropriate and affordable and rugged product that was solar-powered light. And it was something that people could buy. Even people living in remote villages could buy it. It was affordable for them, and especially because it's replacing kerosene, which is one of the most expensive fuel sources for lighting. They could replace that with solar, that once you buy the light, the fuel is free. So
and the payback, the return on investment is insanely quick.
Yes, if I had an investment that good, that had an investment payback that quick, I'd be rich. So it really intrigued me that we have this solution of solar lighting that's very distributable, it's appropriate, it's affordable, it's rugged, and why weren't people just eating it up? Why weren't people buying it? Why wasn't it reaching these remote areas where it would just transform lives? And so I got onto solving that puzzle. Why wasn't it the product getting out where it was most needed? And the solution was really twofold. It's distribution, a classical last mile distribution problem of just simply getting the product and the knowledge and the awareness out to these remote rural areas in sub-Saharan Africa. So it was last mile distribution was one of the gaps. And then the second gap was, it's a gender issue. And at the household level, energy is managed by women. They're the ones who walk to town and fill up a Coca-Cola bottle with kerosene and bring it home and fill up the lamps and light for the lighting for that night. And if we're going to disrupt that, if we're going to have a woman decide for her own self that instead of spending that $2 or $4 a week on kerosene, she's going to buy a $5 solar lamp, she's got to be the one that makes that decision. And so we needed to reach her. And the only way,
let's just be honest, men would sleep in the cold, right?
Yeah.
I hope everyone survives.
In the dark at least. And so if we were going to disrupt that and have her make that decision that she would really prefer this new technology that she doesn't really trust or know about even, the best way to do that was through another woman telling her, someone that she knows and trusts, somebody right there from her own village. And that became the beginning of the Solar Sister Network. It's a network.
And I mean, that's a lot of great insight. You just thought that through, or you had some kind of local advice? I mean, this was not
like
I mean, it sounds simple and clear when you run through it in a couple of sentences, but it's actually a very insightful, deep thing.
Well, it came in, I think, in two phases. One was realizing that the products just weren't in the areas, and so how do you get them out there? And we needed a distributed.
And then realizing who's in charge of.
So that's and that it has to be it's very. You have to keep the price super low, so you can't have a big infrastructure to make this distribution. It has to be very thin, very efficient. Very
effective. even with these small solar lights and great return on investment, the upfront cost still is. Scary when you're living day to day or week to week. It can still be a challenge.
It can be.
There's a lot of great financing methods now for that, but
it can be a big investment for a family to purchase a light. And so but it's within their grasp.
So
because the lights are, you can start with something as small as a $5 investment, or make a $35 investment for one that also charges phones. Across Africa, in the rural areas where people don't have electricity, but they all have cell phones.
Yeah.
So you have to think about, well, where are they going to get that charge?
Yeah, and they can often go very long distances to charge. And so when did you start it? You started
2010.
2010. And then how has it? It's been 8 years or almost 8 years. How has it evolved? Was it basically as you dreamt, or has it changed from your?
The very essential part of it is still the core, because it's a really, really simple business model. It's direct selling. We recruit, train, and support women to set up their own business that is a distribution. It's a sales business of these products. We give them access to the best quality products, and we make sure that they are warranties and they understand how a warranty works, and we provide the logistics support and marketing and business training and empowerment training, which is helping the women just basically have that belief that they can do this, getting them over that hurdle that, yes, you can, create this business, it's a technology, and we can, give you the understanding of it. So that's the support we provide them. And then what they provide is they bring their own capital to the business. They bring their own networks that they have, deep networks in their communities, and that's where they reach out to make their sales. And then we teach them, and part of the business training is how to even expand their networks beyond their immediate circle of family and friends, and learn how to reach out. If you know someone in the next village over, and then they can help you reach out to the school or the community leader in that village and expand your. So we give them
do
a
you
lot
get some
support.
cases of the people who really get the entrepreneurial spirit and become major expand
Yeah,
you get so you get variation between the ones who
you see that.
Yeah.
You see a woman.
And do you have numbers? Do you have
so we've helped 3,000 women start businesses across. It started in Uganda, but now we're in Uganda, Tanzania, and Nigeria. So we have 3,000 businesses, local, very rural businesses that are self-sustaining, they can go on and on. And of those 3,000, I think it's a typical 80-20 swing between, 80% of them are very small. Some of them are even seasonal. They may be a woman who's a farmer who, during farming season, is planting or harvesting, and then in between seasons, she's running this business to keep cash flow going.
Yeah.
So you see some of that seasonal business, you see some occasional business, but then with that 20% at the top, you see women who are just
making.
Yeah, if they had the opportunity and the education as they were growing up,
they'd be CEO of GE or something.
Yeah.
And so you stay in touch with all of them, ongoing. It's an ongoing connection, and I mean it must be hard to quantify, but I'm sure you try to quantify how many people and homes are helped through that network.
So we have incredible. My banking analyst.
Yeah, so this is a fun. You jump into the spreadsheet and say, "Hey,
exactly." I love data. Yeah. I love the numbers. Yeah. So, because of the transactional nature of it's a social impact business, and we're creating impact. But because there's a transactional basis to it, we're able to have really granular data about exactly how many lamps did we sell, how many home systems did we sell, how many ones with phone chargers did we sell, did we have someone a household that bought a small lamp and then moved up to the phone charging system and then bought a home system. So we have all this great data that really gives us an insight into these markets, which is it's not a market that people know very much about. These really last mile rural consumers.
And what's the total number of people you think you've helped at this stage?
We just last year topped 1 million.
1 million.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, that's what I love about the prize too. Is you've talked to these organizations and small businesses that they don't have huge megawatt figures like First Solar would have, but they have touched millions. I mean, there's across the winners and finalists, millions and millions and millions of people that are sort of not I mean, it's not really recognized that they've been touched, that they've been helped, you know? I mean, it's sort of a small niche community that recognizes it, but even the prize, I think, pulls them together so much where you see the scale of all of these
One
businesses.
of the things I really like about what we do, if I could be proud about that, is that we've kept our focus on that last mile customer.
Yeah.
And we know we're in the right neighborhoods. We know we're reaching the right people where the impact is transformative because they are giving up their kerosene and they're now using solar light. That completely changes everything for that family. And so
then the momentum gets
it's
good.
the first light, last mile is the customer base that we're the most focused on.
And then we've seen in this industry, you know, it started with solar lighting, and now more and more companies and nonprofits are moving into appliances and different selling beyond lighting and small solar panels. Are you going in that direction as well?
So our product basket is very much dictated by our customers. You know, we're driven by demand, and so there's a bit of market education and availability education that we have to let them know. Okay, now you can have a fan that's powered by solar.
And they start saying, "Hey, I want a PlayStation or a Xbox." I don't even know what the new thing is.
You know what happens is, first they want light, and then it's phone charging.
Okay.
And the charging phones is the biggest change because it's being able to be connected to other people is just a human desire. And so being able to keep your phone charged is incredible. And then it's the home systems where they have a panel on the roof and 3 lights.
Okay.
And that really lifts up that whole family into, as far as they're it feels like you've got a switch on the wall. It feels like you've got a full,
and what about,
and you do have a full home lighting situation. And so that really is a satisfying, hurdle to reach. And then it's things like a TV or a radio or a fan or those are the next ones that people want. And you can understand that, that's entertainment, it's information, it's news, it's a fan is incredible comfort in, some really hot sub-Saharan people.
And so, I mean, has it grown faster than you expected, or is it about the same, or has it been? You hope to have reached 10 million by now, or?
Yeah, I'm totally over.
You have an idealistic.
I have big ambitions.
That's great.
Big aspirations.
Well, that's what drives us.
And I think there's 2 lessons that I've learned from this, and one is that it's a lot harder.
Oh, it's so hard to get to that last mile. I mean, this is.
I ever thought, and so we could do a whole other thing on like lessons learned. I could talk for a long time.
And what are your main challenges right now? What challenges do you feel like you're struggling with still today to get to more people?
I think a couple of the big challenges. One is because this is a impact business. It's a social enterprise, so we really are focused on creating impact, and it's tied to community service and women empowerment, and there's a lot of kind of social good that comes out of this, but it's based on a business model. And while social enterprise is a concept that's very well understood in Europe or the United States, and it's kind of leading edge and it's great, when you go into rural Tanzania, people understand business, and this is how business works, and they understand NGOs, and that's how charity and NGOs work. But it's harder to kind of get that concept, and it's harder to find people who have any experience or any, to be able to stand right on that tipping point between business and impact, and really be comfortable saying, I'm going to do this because it's creating the most impact, but I'm still going to have to employ business methods. And so we end up really growing our own staff and growing our own team. And so building capacity, building the human capacity is the thing that is probably our limiting factor. Because we're dedicated to have it be completely our local teams. From our entire organization in Tanzania is Tanzanian. Our entire organization in Nigeria is Nigerian. And we're completely committed to that, but that does mean we spend a lot of time on sort of social enterprise education for all of our staff.
Well, congratulations again on being a finalist. It's really difficult to get there, but you check all the boxes. I mean, I think I'm hesitant to say anything, but I would be surprised if I don't see you on the stage winning one year. It's just tremendous work. It looks like you have good momentum, and thank you and congratulations for the success, because it's a big help for the world that I think we all appreciate, even if we're not directly involved or helped by it.
Thanks so much.